Wind, sun, cold, snow, we've got it all in the forecast, and it's pretty static. We'll show you when we'll finally see some changes coming up. Karen?
First at 4, uninvited. Talk show host Ellen DeGeneres tells a gospel singer she's not welcome on her show. The story behind this controversy. President Obama makes a rare trip to Capitol Hill. The battle to save his biggest legacy is raging in Congress right now. Up first, tragedy on I-75. But police are learning about this deadly crash, the cause, and new information about one of the drivers. Those stories and more right now, First at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Karen Drew. This deadly crash on I-75 has killed at least 3 people. 2 more are fighting for their lives right now. And state police are trying to piece together exactly what happened. We are still learning new information. Local 4's Rod Maloney just spoke with state police in the last hour, and I understand you've learned some information about one of the drivers.
Yeah, this is very sad, Karen, and I'll tell you exactly where we're standing, which is behind the failed jail project here in downtown Detroit. And this is where it all started right here. The woman's car was in the Greektown Casino parking garage. She'd been here for about an hour. She took a left-hand turn out of the garage and then down this ramp right here. It's the Lafayette Avenue off-ramp from I-75, and this is where she headed up the highway for about 5 minutes before hitting a minivan. The Chevy Malibu you see burning was the wrong-way vehicle, driven by a woman who had spent about an hour inside the Greektown Casino before getting onto I-75 South, driving northbound. While there is no video of this accident itself, we've now learned that an off-duty police officer or firefighter was right there. Michigan State Police spokesperson Lieutenant Mike Shaw says they're still looking to speak to that officer.
Sees the female inside of the Malibu, cuts her out of her seatbelt and drags her off to the side. By the time he gets over to the van, there's nothing really he can do inside of the van.
The other vehicle, a white Oldsmobile Silhouette minivan, had 4 passengers inside, none of them wearing seatbelts. The impact so strong it tossed the van up and nearly over the Jersey barrier, perching precariously there, burning. Firefighters put out the flames quickly, and the damage was so terrible that they needed the jaws of life to free the passengers.
We believe it was the front passenger and the rear passenger that were actually killed in the crash, and then the driver and the driver's side passenger were the one that survived.
The 2 survivors ended up getting sent to receiving hospital, where they remain in extremely serious condition. They are not likely to survive. This is the second wrong-way driver on I-75 South in 5 days. An incident on December 30th had a driver making it 13 miles before police could make the arrest. No one ended up hurt in that accident, and the on-ramp used in that incident was not the same as this morning's. Now the question is alcohol involved in this accident? MSP is telling us that there's no overt, there are no bottles or anything in either of these vehicles, and so it's going to be toxicology reports from the autopsies that will tell us that answer. It's likely to be a couple of weeks before we know that. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Rod Maloney, on this tragedy on I-75. Also, First at 4, a Taylor man faced a judge today accused in the rape of a relative under 13 years old. Bernard Bryan is facing charges of criminal sexual conduct and assault. Family members told police they walked in on Bryant with the victim and saw him pulling up his pants. Bryant was heard apologizing during today's arraignment and claims his life is being threatened. We'll have more from inside the courtroom on Local 4 News at 5. A man from Southfield has his children to thank after surviving a carjacking. 30-year-old Darrell Foster went to get gas around 3 in the morning when a car pulled up right next to him. At first, he thought it was a police car, but then 4 men got out of the car with a shotgun and forced Foster to the ground. As Foster laid on that ground, he says all he could think about was his children.
Well, I kept telling him, I said, I got a daughter, man, you know, and then he looked at me. The dude that had the shotgun was like, I'm not gonna do nothing to you.
Foster believes the only reason they didn't kill him was because he is a dad. Ultimately, the gunman stole Foster's clothes and Porsche. Police are investigating. For nearly 24 families in Fraser, the progress at this sinkhole is painfully slow. Here's an update this afternoon on how things are going. The crews have now installed 2 pumps to bypass the area where a sewer pipe broke. Sewage backup is still a concern, though, and the county is watching that very closely. Macomb County is thinking about buying any condemned homes. However, there are some big questions about who will pay the price for this big cleanup. Time now for our first look at the forecast and how are things shaping up out there, Ben?
Not pretty, especially compared to where we were yesterday, Karen. Looks nice, but you start looking at the water down here and you can tell it is windy out there. We're seeing these wind gusts in the 30-mile-an-hour range still across the area. So that's taking air temperatures in the teens and 20s, putting them down in single digits. In fact, even close to 0 right now at Lapeer. The good news is we are going to see these winds relax somewhat tonight. Still going to be breezy and still going to put those wind chills around 0 and maybe even in negative territory at times. Air temperatures sinking to 16 by midnight. And we're still going to have some of those lake effect snow showers around as well. Probably not going to see any accumulation. There is some change in the 7-day forecast. The question is, how long are we going to have to wait for that? We'll tell you about that coming up in a few minutes, Karen.
Buckle up, America. The battle over the Affordable Care Act is already in full swing. President Obama made a rare trip to Capitol Hill today, trying to save what he can of his signature legislation. Devin Scillian is in the newsroom tracking the news from Capitol Hill, and Republicans are promising some very quick action, aren't they?
They certainly are, Karen. Vice President-elect Mike Pence says he wants legislation to dismantle the Affordable Care Act on President Trump's desk by February 20th. So that would be just 1 month after Inauguration Day. Is that even possible? Well, Congress has been talking for years about repealing the act commonly called Obamacare. Only President Obama could stop them using his presidential veto. Well, today the president went to Capitol Hill to rally Democrats to keep fighting once he's out of office. At the same time, Vice President-elect Mike Pence was strategizing with Republicans. Democrats say the big question is what would replace Obamacare, arguing Republicans don't really have a plan. House Speaker Paul Ryan says they do, but his answer is short on specifics.
We have a plan to replace it. We have plenty of ideas to replace it, and you'll see as the weeks and months unfold what we're talking about replacing it.
The Republican plan to cut health care wouldn't make America great again. It would make America sick again.
Now, even if there is a vote to repeal the Affordable Care Act next month, the program would continue during some kind of transition plan that would be in place while it was being phased out. How long would that be in place? Well, some Republicans estimate that could take around 18 months, so a year and a half, but still so many questions to be answered as they try to move forward. Karen, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Devin. Other political news, it looks like Trump's choice for Attorney General is in for a rocky road to confirmation. 6 people were arrested last night after staging a sit-in at the office of Alabama Senator Jeff Sessions. The group included the national president of the NAACP. Sessions lost a federal judge appointment back in 1986 when he was accused of making racist comments. He has denied those allegations. His confirmation hearings for Attorney General are scheduled to start next week. First at 4, we're also tracking these stories making headlines all across America. We start with a train accident in New York. Authorities say the Long Island Railroad train hit a bumping block when it pulled into the Brooklyn station. More than 100 people are hurt. Luckily, rescue workers say the injuries appear to be minor and many passengers were standing as they prepared to get off that train. Only 11 people had to be taken to a hospital. The cause of the crash under investigation. Dylan Roof spoke to the jury for the first time today as the sentencing portion of his trial got started over in Charleston. Roof admitted killing 9 people in a historic black church. He is representing himself and told the jury there's nothing wrong with him psychologically and he's not planning to call any witnesses. Prosecutors say Roof deserves the death penalty because he carefully planned the attack on that church. They plan to call up to 38 witnesses. Convicted mass murderer Charles Manson is reportedly hospitalized at this hour, but prison authorities won't comment on those reports. Many media outlets in California say Manson is seriously ill and has been taken to a hospital in Bakersfield, near the prison where he is serving a life sentence. Manson is the cult leader who led a killing spree back in 1969, leading a group known as the Manson family. He's 82 years old. New controversy surrounding the Ellen Show. We will tell you about the viral video that cost a gospel singer some national exposure. Also ahead, Michigan mom sending a message to Meijer, the changes she would like to see in the checkout line, and the store's response. But up first, Dr. McGeorge is here.
Hey Karen, there's new research on foods that can reduce your risk of adult acne, plus the real impact that the lack of sleep has on your metabolism. That's coming up in Good Health.
Before we go to break, here's a quick reminder about the NFL playoffs. You can see the Lions take on the Seahawks this Saturday night right here, only on Local 4. Kickoff is set for 8:15. We'll be right back.
Pesticide coming up all new on Local 4 News at 5 and 6.
Liberty Park of America, an indoor dome with golf and kickball and soccer, softball fields outside. But this place has decided to shut down. Many are very upset, and some are also extremely upset about what is going to take its place. We'll explain all of that on Local 4 News at 6.
All right. Thank you, Nick. Looking forward to that. Let's talk good health right now. And acne. You know, it's not just for teenagers. Dr. Frank McGeorge is there with some new research on what actually causes those breakouts in adults, which is funny because I was just talking about that in the makeup room with Ben Bailey. Well, we put all that makeup on our face, and I always just feel so gross.
It clogs your pores, and that puts you within the 40% of adults that do suffer acne from time to time. And in fact, in women, it's particularly a problem because hormones play a big role, but there are other factors that are to blame. There's a new Italian study that finds women who ate fruit, vegetables, or fresh fish fewer than 4 days a week were more than twice as likely to have acne. And likewise, those with high or very high stress levels had 3 times the risk of acne. Now, breakouts were also more common in women whose parents or siblings had adult acne and in women who'd never been pregnant. So I'm sure stress is not helping.
Yeah. But I do have a question. My mom used to always say it's good if you have acne because it means you have oil in your skin and it's not so dry.
Little bit of
She was
both.
just trying to make me feel good,
well,
right?
it's good to have moist, oily oil in your skin, but acne, not
really acne. Yeah. All right, let's talk about a study that involves metabolism and sleep.
Right.
Which I think we all would like more sleep, and we'd love to increase our metabolism.
Exactly. Well, we know that having poor sleep does actually slow down your metabolism, and now researchers have figured out about how much. Scientists at the University of Pennsylvania studied 2 groups, one that slept 4 hours a night, too little, and the other that slept 10. They found the resting metabolism of the sleep-deprived group slowed by about 50 to 60 calories a day, which didn't sound like a huge difference, but it was enough to add up over time. The bigger problem, though, was in the sleep-deprived group, they ate about 500 extra calories per day compared to the well-rested group. And of course, as we all have experienced, when we don't sleep well, we tend to make less healthy food choices. And also, not sleeping changes some of the hormone balances in your body, so you are hungrier more often for less healthy foods.
Sleep is a good thing. And make it a priority.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
I like that. All right. Thanks, Doc.
Sure.
In this Help Me Hang Consumer Alert, a buyer beware message for anyone who might be shopping for a new mattress in the new year. Consumer Reports has released 3 questions you need to ask before you sign the dotted line. First, make sure you know the store's return policy. Specifically, ask how long you can try out the mattress before trying to return it if you don't like it. Be sure to ask who pays for pickup if you want to return the mattress, when the store will actually come and get it, and find out if there is a restocking fee. You don't want to get stuck paying for a mattress you don't like. I never ever thought about buying a mattress and returning it.
I haven't either.
But that would be great.
I really haven't talked about pimples in the last 10 years.
I know. It bugs me sometimes. You wear all that makeup. You have such good skin, Ben. I'm so jealous.
Cover it up.
You use a lot of moisturizer. Anyway, we need moisturizer for the cold weather.
You do,
good
and
transition.
you're going to need to cover up with the winds out there, too. I'll tell you, temperatures not in our favor, and the winds even more so. Going in that direction. Gusts now have topped 40 miles an hour, at least out here in Lansing. 43, the latest. Most of us, though, about 30 to 40 miles per hour right now with those gusts. They will relax somewhat tonight. It is still going to be breezy, so we're still going to be seeing wind chills that are much lower than the air temperatures. But when you see thermometer readings that are in the teens and low 20s, you know this is not going to be good. And when you look at wind chills, they are in negative territory, especially here north of M59 in our north zone. East siders, you're about 5 to 10 above, and very close to that in our south zone. Although over the next 10 days, don't expect those wind chills to change all that much, because even though the winds will be kind of waxing and waning through the day, those air temperatures will be chasing it, so it'll keep those wind chills pretty much steady. as we go through the end of the week. Now, there are some lake effect snow showers that have been coming over from the west. These are not going to lead to any accumulation, but with that wind just whipping it around out there, could cause some visibility issues at times. So be careful tonight on the drive home. Otherwise, high pressure settles in. So other than that lake effect stuff that we're going to see again tomorrow, but probably less so, we're going to be generally dry as we get through the rest of the week. No significant precipitation until we get into Tuesday of next week. Then we got to start watching one system pretty closely. But tonight, 12. That's what the overnight low is going to be. But with that westerly wind diminishing to 15, that's still going to keep those wind chills around 0 for the nighttime hours. High temperature tomorrow right back into the low 20s. And even though it's going to be breezy, we probably won't see the gust quite as high as what we did today. Still, these are the wind chills we're expecting for much of the day tomorrow. Again, around 5, 6, 7 degrees here in our metro zone, similar to what you've got right now. South zone wind chills pretty much in the same ballpark, anywhere from about 4 to 6 across Lenawee and Monroe County. And in our west zone, we're going to see colder numbers, probably just getting above 0 here in Fenton and Clarkston, and 2 to 6 as you get down here a little bit south of that. North zone numbers negative at times. North Branch, Marlette -1, and we'll see some positive territory numbers down here towards M59. So here's your 7-day forecast. Again, not much of a change through the weekend. Temperatures right around 20 degrees. Morning lows pretty close to 10. Then we get into early next week. Temperatures ramp up. We go to 38 here on Tuesday. And right now it looks like it's going to be a snow, mix, and rain situation. So timing will be critical, but there will be enough precipitation. We'll have to watch that, and we'll have more on that coming up in the next few days. Karen?
All right, thank you, Ben. Ellen DeGeneres says no thanks to a controversial guest. And baby news for Janet Jackson. Our top trending stories coming up next. But up first, too much junk food at the checkout counter? One Michigan mother says yes, but she's probably not getting the response she expected. A Michigan mother has put a message to Meijer online, but she's running into some opposition. Jane Kramer of East Lansing launched a petition on change.org asking Meijer to remove all that junk food, the snacks, and the tabloid magazines from its checkout lines. She thinks Meijer could offer healthier options. The company says it's already proud of the healthy choices it offers throughout its stores. Comments on our Facebook page are pretty critical of this mom's idea. Ashley writes, just because you don't know how to teach your child the word no doesn't mean they have to stop selling junk food. That's how they make money. It's a business. Get over it.
Wow.
Online poll showed only about 18% of those agreed, saying there's too much junk food. More than 60% say things are fine the way they are. You can join the discussion on our Facebook page. It's always interesting what gets people riled up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine to have some junk food, but it would be nice to have like a protein bar.
They wouldn't be there if they didn't sell. I mean, that's
the business. Yep. Oh, let's talk about this. This is definitely trending today. People talking about talk show host Ellen DeGeneres after she disinvited a singer from appearing on her show. Gospel singer Kim Burrell was going to perform a song this week from the movie Hidden Figures, but a video of her preaching a blatantly anti-gay sermon went viral over the weekend. Once Ellen heard the comments, she tweeted that Burrell would no longer be on the show. On Facebook Live, the singer claimed only parts of the sermon were shown, but she offered, quote, no excuses or apologies. Okay, let's talk about something a little bit happier. Janet Jackson, she is a mom for the first time. She's 50 years old. Jackson and her husband welcomed a baby boy to the family yesterday. Last year, Jackson postponed a concert tour amid rumors she was pregnant. In spite of some reports she would name her son Michael after her brother, the baby's name is Isa. Also, still ahead on First at 4, who would make the best celebrity neighbor? The couple who finished on top of the list will be moving soon. See if you agree. Up first, take a look at what I'm working on for tonight's 11.
It's a lesson unlike any other.
I want to see him changing bullying.
Teaching students to be peacekeepers.
I learned it's okay to interrupt. It's okay to be a friend to anyone in need.
We'll take you to a school that's tackling bullying head on.
My personal hope is that the students gain confidence.
The Peacekeeper Movement tonight at 11.
You've heard the
Okay, this is a good talk about story. What celebrity would you like to see move into your neighborhood?
A new survey from Zillow found some pretty interesting choices. The top 3 include Chip and Joanna Gaines from the Fixer Upper show on HGTV.
They could come over and decorate your living room.
Be all shiplap if they did. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson already voted people's sexiest man alive.
They want him as their neighbor.
Well, now you know why.
I wouldn't pick him. The #1 choice, President Barack Obama and the First Lady, they are moving later this month, but staying in D.C. That would be a nice dinner time conversation.
Well, you know the Secret Service is always.
Oh, yeah? Oh, by the way, most undesirable, pop star Justin Bieber.
Hide your eggs.
Totally agree with that one. Thank you so much for joining us for First at 4. We are back in a half hour with Local 4 News at 5, leaving you with a beautiful shot of Ford Field. Inside Edition is next.